All right, good morning to everybody. Thanks for joining us here on KVUE Plus, Daybreak Plus, coming your way, streaming right on your TV. I'm Brian Mays.
And I'm Yvonne Nava, alongside meteorologist Casey Sherman. We have traffic anchor Hannah Rucker. It was a busy night overnight. Did you all really get it at your house or your area, or not really?
Yeah,
I did not at all. I mean, I saw the winds pick up.
Yeah.
And I was waiting. I was looking at radar. Like, come on, because as a meteorologist, I want to see the hail.
Yeah. You're bring it on.
But no, nothing in South Austin. Nothing. For
I
us.
certainly did in Central Austin. I woke up. We had trees uprooted. My entire neighborhood is such a mess. So we've got a couple days of cleanup ahead of us, and still some power outages going on too.
That's true. 30,000 customers still without power. Did you get any in South Austin?
I didn't.
No?
I slept like a baby. However, I was tuned into our coverage. I thought Hunter and Jordan did an excellent job, just kind of calmly letting us know what was happening there with the weather. So it was good.
Yeah, I didn't get much. Got some rain, but the sun was shining by the time I went to bed. So it passed by Round Rock pretty quick last night. But so a lot of people out there dealing with a lot of cleanup today, and power outages is one thing too.
Yeah, speaking of those outages, let's take a look here at Austin's energy map. But you know what? Let's talk about weather first.
Yeah, I mean, it really was kind of a tale of two cities yesterday. If you were farther north Austin, that's where you had that strong supercell that rolled on through. South Austin didn't see too much. Today, though, overall, all of us will be calmer. We're not going to look at much rain today, but storms will make a comeback tonight. And I do think these storms tonight are going to be more widespread than what we had yesterday. So more of us having a chance of seeing not just some heavy rain, but of course lightning overnight tonight, along with that threat of seeing some isolated strong to severe storms. This will come ahead of our next main weather feature. It's going to be a cold front moving through the overnight time frame and into early tomorrow morning. And it's out ahead of that will be tracking a line of rain and thunderstorms. That front, it's currently located out across parts of North Texas, the Texas Panhandle. Low pressure systems swinging out and swirling out through portions of Oklahoma, already bringing them some stronger storms this morning. As that continues to track off to the north and east throughout the day today, it'll help that cold front push southward over time, and eventually that moves through our area tomorrow morning. Out ahead of it, what we're actually going to see is likely a little wave of energy that's going to be riding in along it, and that's what's going to help produce what I do think is going to be some kind of line, some kind of complex of storms heading into tonight. Severe weather bullseye today across the state of Texas is for Lubbock down through north central Texas and clipping at least our northern hill country areas. That's for Burnett County, Llano County, and Mason County is where we have that level 2 out of 5 risk for severe storms. Elsewhere, level 1 out of 5 risk for severe storms. So this threat is currently lower than what we had yesterday, where it was a level 2 across the I-35 corridor. Still, nevertheless, though, we could be getting in on still some of those damaging winds, hail, heavy rain after what we just had yesterday. A good day for those cleanup efforts, though. Today is going to be pretty dry during the daytime hours as that front approaches the area. Thunderstorms fire up overnight, and then high pressure builds back in just in time for Friday and the weekend. We're going to be heading into a more tranquil, calmer stretch of weather after what has been just such an active weather pattern so far for this week. So that break, it's not too far off here. A little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. We do have to get through one more round of some stronger storms, though, heading into tonight. Today, you shouldn't have too many issues. Mostly cloudy to start. We're looking at some low clouds as we kick off this Thursday morning. Last day of school for a lot of kids. I'm sure they are excited out at the bus stop today. And as they head home from school, kicking off summertime break, shouldn't have too many issues. 2-3 o'clock, partly cloudy sky. By around dinner time, we may start to see some isolated showers and storms pop up. Mason, Llano County, some of those hill country zones that precedes that main line that'll be tracking in from northeast and northwest and pushing southeastward over time. So midnight tonight, we start to see that push into the hill country zones, and then eventually it'll be shifting towards the I-35 corridor. I think the window for the I-35 corridor from Georgetown all the way down through San Marcos will be anywhere between about 3 a.m. through 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So it's going to be an overnight kind of event for us that will see this stronger line move on through. And again, I think it's going to be more widespread than what we had yesterday, where that supercell, although it created a lot of damage, was still pretty isolated across the area. Burnett County, Travis County, you're the ones that saw the impacts from that. Tonight, more of us seeing widespread impacts. Rain, could see some gusty to damaging winds along with some hail that shifts into the coastal plains heading into early tomorrow morning. And then drier air starts to file in behind that as that cold front shifts southward. forward. Damaging winds and large hail going to be the main threats. We'll also have to watch out for some flooding, especially for those areas that already had flooding issues yesterday. Rain chances drop off though as high pressure builds. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday will be much drier. 92 degrees for a high temperature today. Tonight we're tracking that line of showers and storms. Quick check at that allergy count. Low for grass, weeds, oak, and hickory. Mold at medium today. 7-day forecast. Front moves through Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We're keeping it mainly dry. Highs warming into the middle 90s as we kick off the start of June, but I do think we could be heading into another active weather pattern by the middle of next week.
I do not doubt that, but hey, you know we live in Texas and we're excited about the 90s again, and goodness gracious, it is 7:06 Central Texas. How we doing today? I know it was kind of a rowdy evening and it got pretty scary out there. I'll be the first to say it. I was watching our coverage last night, different vehicle rescues, water rescues. Luckily, things are a lot quieter today, but don't drop your guard fully. We have some things we need to be aware of. So let's take a look across the area. I-35 getting by well as this morning, taking a look there. And of course, Airport Boulevard near the Miller area. We still have quite a few power outages and just about every traffic light is still out in that neighborhood today. So definitely keep that in mind. Of course, we have some snapped trees across the area and debris on our major highways. I'm hearing reports of that today. We also still have some lingering flooding from yesterday, really across the viewing area. So be really careful, especially back on those county roads. Luckily, we have the sun coming up a little bit, so we have some more light on it, but you know, something to be aware of as well. Quite a bit of car trouble out there, just as it was yesterday. We're all just trying to get by here. Bentopolis Drive, we've got an incident there causing some slowdowns southbound. We're also seeing some stop and go southbound approaching DKR Stadium and the Miller development today near Airport Boulevard. So stay safe, y'all.
All right, now let's get to the numbers. You're taking a live look at Austin Energy's outage map. More than 26,000 customers are still without power this morning. Each of those markers really indicates how many outages there are in the area. And again, we say customers, not people, because there could be 4 people in the home or 6 people. It just depends, you know.
That's true. That number of people affected, a lot bigger than 26,000, but those are the customers affected. Those crews are out all night and into the morning. Many of them still working right now very hard. KVUE's Jessica Cha is live in the Miller area this morning. Still several outages there. Boy, you can see the damage behind you this morning. Jessica, what have you seen as you've looked around there in Central Austin this morning?
Yeah, this morning, as the sun is coming up, we are getting a much better idea of what damage the storm left behind yesterday. And it's a mess out here, let's be honest. Starting over here, I mean, this tree is just completely mangled by the storm, by that hail, by that heavy rain. And as we walk, the damage is just scattered across the median in this neighborhood. There's this down branch, if you can even call it that. It's extremely big, it's heavy, and luckily it didn't hit any houses, but it's clearly been ripped off of a tree that was nearby. And you know, there was little damage to the houses around, I would say, but even there's a home over on the corner over there, and their window is shattered by who knows what. Maybe the hail did it, maybe a flying rock, but you can tell that the storm damage, the winds were really strong out there yesterday. Now, we actually had some photos taken by our own Hannah Rucker yesterday, who was in the area, and she showed pictures of trees who were in the same kind of condition. They were absolutely uprooted. They were ripped out of the ground and toppled over. You can really see how strong that wind was. Now, later this morning around 10, so in just 3 hours, the city's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management plans to talk about the rain, the hail, and the flooding we saw last night, and the plans to clean up and restore power and how to prepare for those future storms. Now, I am taking a peek at the outage map for this Mueller area, and we can see that there's still about 3,000 customers who don't have their power on just yet, and there's not an estimated restoration time. But I did see an Austin Energy truck drive by, so you know that they are out and about and trying to get that power back on for people. And we'll have more updates as the day goes on. Live in the Mueller area, Jessica Cha, KVUE News.
All right. Jessica, you did mention, I mean, that's a hefty tree. These aren't just like small trees. It just really shows the force and the power of the winds and the storm, right?
It does. It really does. I don't think she can hear us.
No, I don't think so either. It's okay. Thank you so much, Jessica.
30,578 is the total number of customers right now affected.
Okay, so just over 30,000 customers. We're also seeing some damage to homes and businesses on the other side of I-35. Take a look at the scene at a Shell gas station on Mopac near Spicewood Springs Road in Northwest Austin. And you can see 4 cars were trapped underneath the collapsed canopy. Look at that. KVUE spoke to the drivers of the car who are okay. One group of friends say they parked at the Shell to take cover, not expecting what would happen next.
Well, we didn't really have that much time to think. I kind of saw the light get a little bit darker for like a second, and then just like barely braced, and then it hit it. And then we saw, obviously, it hit all the other cars, and we were pretty scared at first, but then we saw his car doesn't have too much damage, so we got pretty lucky.
First responders across Austin, they rushed to help someone. Oh, go ahead, Hannah.
All right, guys. So as we saw yesterday, first responders, they were across the Austin area. They were helping these people in the flash flooding. Look at this. I mean, this was very frightening for a lot of people given the timing of these storms moving through. So you can take a look at that video from North Austin in that North Shoal Creek area under that bridge there. A driver got stranded in high water on Steck Avenue, which has really been a trouble spot historically. And the fire department rescued a second driver at the same location just minutes before this one. So of course we're still dealing with some of that lingering water today, looking a lot better out there now. But here's the thing, firefighters and EMS, they also rushed to the area of Hancock and Crestmont Drive, just south of that initial area. 2 people were swept away in the fast moving water there. EMS said 1 person was rescued and the second person did not survive, which is just very heartbreaking to hear this morning. Then in Central Austin, first responders helped drivers who encountered high water near I-35, causing their cars to stall out. A lot of car trouble last night. Thank goodness in that one, no one was hurt, but certainly an evening. And, this serves as a reminder to be extra cautious when driving today. It does not take very much to get into a dangerous situation. Just 6 inches of water can cause you to lose control of your car. And just think about that rushing rain yesterday, and it can cause your car to stall, which we saw a lot of. In a foot of water, your car can start to float. So 2 feet of water can carry away most cars. And once again, watching that coverage last night, there were people crawling out onto their roofs, and it can get dangerous very fast. We have a lot of, areas in our town that are susceptible to this flooding.
Yeah, and you might think it's not a big deal, but it definitely changes just on a dime, that's for sure.
I do want to mention Austin Energy just sent out a message that the extent is so vast for these power outages and some of the damage. They're expected some to last, they say, multiple days. Currently no estimated time of restoration for outages. So they're going to provide more information. Of course, when they do, we'll bring it to you here. But some of these outages could last a while. So just be prepared for that if you have no power this morning.
Yeah, crews can only work so fast,
Yep.
right?
They're working hard.
Yeah, they are. So if you have damage from the storm, what should you do?
Well, Jenny Lee walks us through how to file a claim and get the most out of your insurance coverage. Now, take a look.
Safety first. If your damage is catastrophic, start the claim process only when it's safe and okay for you to be there. Contact your insurer. As soon as possible, document everything. Take plenty of photos and videos. Make a list of what was damaged and needs repairs. Now, if you can't get to your property, ask your insurer how to proceed to get the process moving. And make sure you are there when the adjuster visits so you see what they see. Document all contacts with your insurer and keep detailed notes, everything from missed appointments to what you discussed, even if they were rude. Keep every receipt. A standard homeowner's policy reimburses for living expenses if you have to stay outside your home for a period of time. You'll want these receipts if there's a disagreement or you end up in court.
After talking to your insurer, do the stopgap work. That is, the repairs you need to do to make sure there isn't further damage. For example, having the plumber come to turn off the water.
A standard homeowner's insurance policy covers damage to the structure and personal property, up to certain limits and minus your deductible. Replacement cost coverage pays to rebuild your home and replace stolen or damaged items at today's prices. Actual cash value coverage pays to rebuild your home and replace stolen or damaged items, but factors in depreciation.
If it's minor damage, like a few $1,000s, you might not want to file that claim because your insurer could come back and charge you more in premiums later. And if you filed several claims within a short period of time, your insurer could dump you.
But there might be exceptions after some storms. Take water damage. Small spots on a wall or ceiling could indicate a bigger mess inside a wall or attic. Reporting it now shows you've reported promptly. Finally, you might want to turn to someone called a public adjuster if it's a large claim, like a total loss. They work on your behalf and represent you, but it will cost you. In some states, a public adjuster's fees are capped at 10 to 12% of the insurance payout. Other states have no percentage gaps, and adjusters can charge hourly or a flat fee.
All right, that was Jenny Lee reporting. Now, if you think the wording in your policy is perhaps misleading, have an attorney specializing in insurance law look it over.
That's right. The Consumer Federation of America notes that courts have consistently favored policyholders over or on policy ambiguities. You can also file a complaint with your state's insurance department if it gets to that point. Right now, crews are cleaning up the home of Texas baseball. Oh my, a big weekend ahead, and they've got some work to do at Disch-Falk Field. Take a look. The center field fence heavily damaged. In fact, totally damaged by the storms. The team will play now the first NCAA tournament game tomorrow on that field at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Horns are hosting the regional tournament this year. Houston Christian, UC San Antonio, and Kansas State are all in town for that. Debris cleanup and repairs already underway. You see that, but a lot of work left to do there. The athletic director, the great CDC, Chris Del Conte, is optimistic. He'll be ready for the game tomorrow that begins tomorrow. He responded to this tweet. I love this tweet. It's Bob the Builder. Already hard at work. CDC says the games will go on. Yes, sir, he says, as to the repairs and games happening.
Isn't that the way the jingle goes? Like, can we fix it?
I think that's it.
We can.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
He's working hard. Bob's not messing around, and just like those Austin Energy crews, they're going to be working around the clock too. We'd love to see what you are seeing. If you have some weather-related photos or some of the damage left behind, we'd like to see your photos if you can share them with us from a safe place. You can text them to us at the number on your screen. It's easy to remember, 512-459-9442, and we'll make sure and share those with our audience here on KVUE.
All right. Well, new this morning, Austin police searching for a person who shot a man in the head in Northwest Austin. The shooting happened just after midnight at Westdale Point Apartments near Mopac, just south of Spicewood Springs. Police say they found a man in his mid-20s, again, shot in the head, but still alive. He was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police say they are still looking for the accused shooter.
Later this morning, Austin police giving an update on the deadly shooting of an InfoWars reporter. Jamie White was murdered in South Austin back in March. So far, police have arrested 17-year-old Elroy Camarillo. He's accused of murdering him in the parking lot of the apartment complex. There's his mugshot. Police say that White interrupted someone who was breaking into cars, including his own car. Police say they may have been targeting Kias that night. We'll have an update again from Austin Police at about 11:30 this morning. KVUE will have the very latest of what is said on the news at 4 o'clock today.
In the Texas House, lawmakers passed a bill known as the Anti-Red Flag Act, and Senate Bill 1362 would limit when guns can be taken from people. It bans government entities from enforcing extreme risk protection orders, commonly called red flag laws. But it does not apply in cases where criminal charges have been filed or if there's a protective order in place.
You know, trying to start your weed eater, you know how mad you get when you start your weed eater and you throw a fit and you throw the thing down and your neighbors see you do that and go, hey, this person may be a little bit unstable. They shouldn't have firearms.
Bills like this are nothing but political messaging by the pro-gun lobby to rail against common sense gun safety policy. And in doing so, will only make Texas more and more dangerous.
SB 1362 now heads back to the Senate to consider the House's changes, and members have until Friday to either accept changes or ask a committee to work out differences. Well, right now, we're waiting to see if Governor Greg Abbott will sign or veto a bill that would ban consumable THC products in Texas. It's Senate Bill 3. Cannabis advocates are pushing the governor to veto the bill, but Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is doubling down on the new possible law.
You wouldn't dare buy it. You wouldn't let your children, your grandchildren buy it. A big industry.
Lieutenant Governor said THC products like gummies can especially be dangerous to minors because they look like candy and you may not know what's in them.
This is serious business. This is not Dan's folly. This is not Dan's priority. This is to save an entire generation of being hooked on drugs.
Well, advocates say more regulation, not an outright ban, will keep Texans safer. The governor has until June 22nd to sign SB 3 into law, let it become law without his signature, or veto it. They've got options.
Elon Musk says he's leaving the Trump administration, but he says the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, will continue. Musk led efforts to cut federal spending. He said he wanted to cut from $2 trillion to $150 billion, but also he clashed with some officials and faced some legal battles along the way. He grew frustrated, he said, with Washington's resistance. Elon Musk's departure was expected as he now turns his focus back to Tesla, SpaceX, and his other core businesses.
Is that how you walk around the
If I had that kind of money, I would walk that way everywhere I went.
That's a good point.
No point there.
Well, thanks again for watching Daybreak Plus. For now, we've got another quick weather and traffic update for you at our TV audience.
That's right. We're doing a simulcast. We're doing KVUE Plus with you here, and then we're going to go back on the TV side. But then, Yvonne, we're going to come back to Daybreak Plus. Did you get all that?
I did.
We've got a busy morning ahead. We'll be back, of course, with more local news on KVUE Plus. Let me do a quick update since we've got a few seconds here on the Austin Energy outages. Austin Energy reporting some of these outages, not all, but some of these outages could take days to get fully repaired and restored. Right now, about 30,634 customers without power. We'll be right back.
Good Thursday morning, Central Texas. I hope y'all are hanging in there after what was a very eventful evening across our viewing area. And today, we're still dealing with power outages. We're dealing with a lot of debris and snap trees, especially in central Austin. And we've got traffic as usual across the area as well, and some leftover flooding from yesterday. So these are all our concerns today as you are heading out the door. And I know for a lot of you, it's the last day of school too. So it's just been kind of a crazy 24 hours. But once again, still seeing widespread lingering flooding issues really across Central Texas today. So just be extra careful heading out the door. We also still have some slowdowns along I-35, kind of as usual there. We've got a stalled vehicle. There's been a lot of those in the last 24 hours. Other than that, though, no other major concerns as we're heading out the door, just kind of general slowdowns here and there. Casey, what do you have on tap for us today?
We will be much quieter during the day, waking up to this cloudier start, 60s, low 70s, but no rain, no thunderstorms to start the day. In fact, during the daylight hours, we should be mainly dry. Clouds give way to partly cloudy skies we into this afternoon. A couple spotty showers and storms up towards the hill country by about 6, 7 o'clock before another round of some stronger storms is expected to move in after midnight tonight. This will be crossing the I-35 corridor closer to about 3, 4, 5 o'clock. So when many of us are asleep, heavy downpours, some gusty to damaging winds possible. Again, we could see some isolated severe storms as this line moves through, along with the possibility of seeing some hail. But at least during the day today, for those cleanup efforts, we will be calmer. Once this clears out, cold front moves through for tomorrow morning, and that is going to lead to a much quieter weekend forecast, thankfully, after this active pattern we've had. Level 1 to level 2 risk for those severe storms today. Highest risk will be up towards the hill country. 7-day forecast, the weekend featuring lowering rain chances with highs back down to the middle 80s for Friday.
thanks for joining us for Daybreak Plus here on KVUE Plus, streaming free on your TV. I like the wave. I'm Yvonne Nava.
Welcoming everybody into our streaming metropolis here. I'm Brian Mays, along with meteorologist Casey Sherman. You know her well. You also know Hannah Rucker. She does a little bit of everything around here.
Yes.
Traffic included, and it's been a busy morning this morning already.
As I was saying earlier, it really does feel like an obstacle course. It kind of depends, though, where you're traveling, but definitely Central Austin, I think, right now with those power outages and the debris is feeling the most of that in the commute right now.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of South Austin, though, you didn't see anything yesterday.
No.
So it's kind of a case of the haves and the have-nots here. Of course, the haves dealing with rain, but also those damage impacts that we had. And if you're traveling in from South Austin, Hayes County, you didn't have damage from this supercell that rolled on through yesterday afternoon and evening. It's what caused all the damage, the hail, the winds, along with the flooding that we had in a lot of Travis County up through even portions of Burnett County, now currently dry. And we've got a nice break from the rain, the thunderstorms today as the atmosphere stabilizes, at least just briefly. We're already tracking, though, our next weather maker. This is a front that's now working its way down the Texas panhandle. It's been producing some showers out towards Oklahoma with that associated low pressure system spinning out towards that way. This will be dropping southward, and over time, we will see another line of rain and thunderstorms develop along that front. It will be moving into our area, but not until tonight. So as you're waking up, maybe in some of those neighborhoods that did get some damage, trees down, maybe you're still without power, today is going to be a nice quiet day for those cleanup efforts before we will see the return of rain and thunderstorms overnight. And that's what will have another potential of producing some strong, severe storms. We've got a level 1 out of 5 risk for the good majority of the KVUE viewing area. So I will say this threat it's lower than what we had yesterday, which was a level 2 out of 5 risk. We'll see how the Storm Prediction Center maybe adjusts this a little bit later on, but right now it's currently lower. That level 2 risk clipping some of our North Hill country areas. Today will be dry, partly cloudy, highs reach to 92 degrees. It's not until after midnight that we'll see the return of that line of rain and thunderstorms. It'll be moving in from the northwest, tracking southeast, eventually lining up and down the I-35 corridor, likely between the hours of 3 and 5 o'clock. So it's going to be an overnight event for us, and then it clears out, leaving us much drier as we head into your Friday. Highs today back to 92 degrees. It's tonight that we'll be tracking that chance for some showers and thunderstorms out ahead of the front. I will, at the full timing of that, break down the impacts and show you the changes we're expecting behind that cold front as we head into the weekend coming up.
All right, Casey, every time she says cold front, I perk up a bit thinking cold, and then you realize it's a front that's not going to really cool us down much, but, you know, it'll bring some change. Right now, this is a live look at the Austin Energy outage map. This is live and updated by the minute. You can see right now 30,634 customers without power. That's not people, that's customers. So a lot more people being affected by this, with 493 active outages. Austin Energy says they're asking for patience as those crews are working around the clock to restore power. It might take a while for some of those. Each of the markers there on your screen showing an outage in the area, some numbers bigger than others. I see a couple of 50 pluses right near, I guess, just south of Miller, the Miller area. Still some outages there, and just north of 290 in North Austin, you're seeing some outages there. So definitely going to want to pack your patience if you have some outages. They're working hard, they tell us, to get everything restored.
Yes, absolutely. You know, the storm didn't spare Austin's airport as well. Strong winds shattered glass near Checkpoint 1. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Crews moved quickly to clean up the mess and block off the area to keep travelers safe.
Viewers calling in after the storms to report high water levels. Take a look at Shoal Creek. It was really rushing yesterday evening. Looked intense there. The creek, now they say it's built to handle flooding like this. That's what it's there for, in fact. It helps protect nearby neighborhoods when we get heavy rainfall like this. But boy, it is something to see and hear. We can hear it from our studio here if we open the door. It's just right outside here in North Austin.
Yes, it's gushing. This morning, we're taking a closer look at the aftermath of the storms in Austin. We have been all morning long.
A lot of debris left behind, the strong winds knocking down trees, blocking the roads in some part, including right here in North Austin. Photographer JP, John Harrington. John Harrington, that doesn't sound right. JP has been out. Look at this, what he's found, some storm damage there. JP, where are you? And what are you seeing there in addition to that tree limb that's down by the roadway there?
Well, I am in a median in Miller neighborhood here, and as you can see, it acted like a wind tunnel here. Not just one tree, we're talking a whole row of trees affected by this storm. You can see the winds were so heavy right in here, almost every tree affected on this side of it. Wherever, we're just going to walk you right down here to show you all this tree damage. So far this morning, I have seen neighbors coming out, checking their cars. Some people said there was hail out here, so they're checking to see what kind of damage they have to their automobile. But you can just see the size of these limbs that have been falling off. So this wind was very, very heavy. And we'll show you the backside here, that we've got all kinds of damage wherever you can see. Sometimes people think it's safer to be under a tree during these, park your car under a tree. No, not the case here, because just a lot of damage up and down this medium. And then I went on the other side to see if the medium there was affected, and it wasn't. So it's just kind of crazy how some areas get hit really hard and other areas don't get hit quite as hard.
You know, you look at those trees, those aren't newly planted trees, right? So that just goes to show the force and the strength of the wind and the storm, because these are, long-standing trees that are now down, right, JP?
Yeah, that's right. They look like they've been here a while, and they look like they were pretty sturdy trees, but the wind just ripped them to shreds. And you can see the cars are still covered with leaves. Kind of looks like a new paint job they have there. And like I said, some people have been out checking for damage from the tree limbs and also from hail.
Yeah, and JP, I mean, not long ago, you were at that Shell station where we were also seeing something where you're talking about don't park under a tree. Also, sometimes you want to park under an awning. You never know, something might happen there. The awning came down, right?
Yeah, and it was kind of funny. I told my wife 2 days earlier that, hey, hail's going to be coming in, so be really careful. And if hail starts coming down, park under an awning at a gas station. And she saw that story this morning. It says, I am not listening to you. I'm not parking under there.
See, never listen to your husband. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my. Hey, JP, real quick, do you see any power lines down in that area? I don't know if that's buried power in the Miller development or if that's above ground. What are you seeing there?
The street I am on does not have power lines, so I cannot answer that question.
I figure it's buried there after they redeveloped that old airport. I would imagine they're all buried, but of course they have to get into the neighborhood somehow, and those are above ground because, as Casey was saying, 70-mile-an-hour winds in some places.
Seriously. Excellent work out there, JP. Thank you so much.
JP, if you want a really juicy shot, go over to B.D. Riley's and look at that big old tree that uprooted from the ground last night. I mean, full cleanup mode. And as we were saying earlier, I mean, there's pockets of area that didn't see anything yesterday. And that's why, Central Texas weather keeps you on your toes. And JP and I also did a story a while back. If you ever can't find covered parking or anything, honey, find a bag of soil, find anything you can to cover those windows. Because as we saw yesterday with some of the size of those honkers that came down, I mean, it can do some serious damage. Right now, kind of business as usual, seeing our typical slowdowns. We do still have some leftover flooding from yesterday and really just a lot of car trouble. Goodness gracious, a little bit of everything. And right now you can kind of see we've got a vehicle pulled off to the side here. They're working that right now. And one of many things that we're keeping in mind. But of course, those snap trees, especially back on some of those county roads, just be really careful, hard to pass through, and definitely want to be aware of that, and kind of a wide range of debris with, once again, nearly 80-mile-per-hour winds. So you really think about that. And like I said, kind of a wide range of our viewing area still dealing with some of the remnants of that flooding from yesterday. As for current conditions right now, a little bit of car trouble here and there, as I was showing you in our live cameras, but haven't had any major crashes so far this morning. So I think everyone's just kind of easing into things. And once again, last day of school for a lot of folks. So kind of trying to wrap up the year strong. But goodness, what a night, Brian.
It was quite a night. As you're with us here live on Daybreak Plus, you can find that on the KVUE Plus app. It's free. I've gotten some messages from people that are joining us on the streaming service for the very first time this morning.
It's so simple, right?
It's so simple. So just tell your friends and neighbors. It's really going to be there. We're going to be expanding and doing a lot more.
You
It's
just
a great,
go to
great
search,
thing.
put KVUE Plus,
Yep.
and boom, it'll pop up.
And you'll
Free.
see my ugly mug every morning.
I mean, how can you miss this? You don't want to miss this.
Well, let's talk about some other news. Ever since the pandemic, you remember that 5 years ago, pickleball has grown in popularity. Now, while it's most popular in retirement communities among us old folks, pickleball's appeal is, of course, universal.
Well, there are also kids who take the sport very seriously. ABC's Danny New has the story.
I got it. Most of us have heard by now that pickleball has become quite popular with seniors. Just ask 96-year-old New Yorker Joe Gaeta.
All my doctors think I'm a freak of nature.
One report found that overall, almost 20 million people played pickleball in 2024, marking a nearly 46% increase from the previous year. For the fourth year in a row, pickleball was the fastest growing sport in the country. And look out, pickleball has now grown from retirees to people who haven't even entered the workforce yet.
You sort of fell in love with pickleball?
I spoke with some of the biggest stars on the junior PPA circuit, which is the Professional Pickleball Association, and they all have big dreams for the sport's future. Identical twins Boone and Ford from California won gold for their age group in the doubles at the junior PPA finals last year. Only to then face each other in the finals for the 16 and under singles.
Does that make you the best in the world at your age group?
Yeah, that makes me the best.
Second best.
Like he's like, all right.
Boys, take it out on the court, okay?
Boone and Ford say they are now shocked that they like pickleball as much as their other main sport, baseball.
Wow. Good shot.
Whoa. Meanwhile, 12-year-old Karina here, who won gold in the mixed 12 and under last year, says pickleball is the only sport she plays.
What do you like about pickleball?
I like that I could play against adults competitively, like in tournaments.
And for this 12-year-old Texan who goes by Pickleball Pierce, he says he first learned the sport when his grandpa, Albert, builds a court in his backyard.
I woke up the next day, just thinking the minute I woke up, I'm like, all right, I want to go play pickleball again.
Now Pierce and Grandpa Albert have even won local tournaments together. And as all four of them continue to rack up gold medals in the junior tour, they have more gold on their mind for the future.
I definitely want to see pickleball in the Olympics.
And the twins actually told me that they gave up tennis because they ended up liking pickleball more. They thought that it was faster when they played it, and they felt that the tournaments, the atmosphere at the tournaments, was a little more fun for them. Interesting. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
It's fun now. Hey, a local man turning his love for pickleball into a business. Jared Jolly, that's him right there. He fell in love with pickleball a few years ago. Now he's opened one of the largest indoor pickleball facilities in the entire region. After nearly 30 years of running businesses, he saw the perfect chance to mix business with a purpose and with something he really enjoyed, pickleball. Pickleball Kingdom is now open for business. 11 total courts. They had their grand opening this past weekend.
And we're going to have a completely climate-controlled 74-degree facility that will take wind, take sun, take heat, take cold, and remove that and get you perfect playing conditions.
Oh, it's nice, too. Jolly says the goal isn't just fun, it's building a community and promoting healthier living through the sport that he fell in love with. It's beautiful. I played out there for a little while.
I love that
Poorly.
it's climate controlled. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about the wind or the sun or any of that. But you said you played poorly?
I played pretty poor. Actually, that's the wrong hand. I'm left-handed. Yeah, that was
Poorly,
fun, though.
whether or not the weather's not, whether or not you're in climate controlled or not.
Yeah, doesn't matter with wind for me.
Right.
The wind might actually help, I guess, if it's blowing behind.
That might be a good excuse. Oh, I missed it. That darn wind.
Oh, the sun's in my eye.
No, but really, I mean, people love it locally, and everyone across the country knows Austin. This is the up-and-coming, Pickle Nation?
Pickle Kingdom,
Yes.
I mean, nowadays
Darn
you
right.
have bars that are centered around pickleball, you know, or you go and there's pickleball courts, and then you've got the bar on the side.
Well, I can get used to that.
Right,
I can get used to that.
Everyone's like, what?
For being bad, you know, it's like, oh, you know, just
And serve some actual pickles too. That'd be fun.
Oh, there we go. The trifecta right
Pickle
there.
drinks. What a pickle shots.
Picklebacks.
Yeah, you guys got the
Well,
plan
good thoughts
going.
This Thursday morning. We're ready.
I like it.
Ready for the weekend.
Speaking of the rest of the day, I mean, what are we going to have on tap?
You know, it
you
should
like
be
it?
quieter. We're going to be much quieter than what we had yesterday, which, man, there are the storm reports. This is kind of the footprint of where that thunderstorm, that supercell rolled on through. Burnett County down through Travis County. We had everything from egg-sized hail to hurricane-force winds of 70 up to 80 miles per hour, or close to that at least in some areas. And, of course, the flooding as well. Closer look in, this is where that storm developed. It moved in from Burnett County, tracking southward. Look at how much lightning it had as well, moving through the Round Rock area, down through the I-35 corridor, central portions of Austin, and then it headed out. And we had another one that followed in close behind. Thankfully, that one made its way into Llano County, Burnett County, but it weakened before it really reached some of those areas that really saw quite a bit of damage from that first supercell that rolled on through. Speaking of, we had, of course, some glass shattered out towards the airport. 77-mile-per-hour wind gusts reported out towards the airport. That is the third highest gust measured out at the airport. And again, that is hurricane force for us. Category 1 hurricane winds are 73 miles per hour. We had just above that out of the airport yesterday. So it's no surprise that, of course, we had downed trees across the area. Many waking up to without power this morning, but today, thankfully, during the day, it's going to be much calmer. Temperatures right now, lower 70s. We've got lower clouds across the area while we're dry. Thanks to all that moisture that we had yesterday, along with the calm winds overnight, we have seen the development of some low clouds and now some fog development too. In fact, visibility is very limited in areas like Lago Vista right now. That's where you're currently looking at visibility of under a half mile. So take those roads very slowly. We're seeing some of the densest of the fog up towards Williamson County right now, even starting to see some lower visibility out towards the Pflugerville area and also Austin. Currently, though, we are dry. You won't have any rain, any thunderstorms to worry about today. It's going to be during the daytime, very quiet. We continue with a stable atmosphere after the storms that rolled through yesterday. Cloudy to start. I do anticipate some sunshine to make a comeback by this afternoon. With those winds, it'll be back out of the southeast, warming things back up into the 90s. By tonight is when we'll start to see the return of some additional storms. Couple showers and storms possible by 6, 7 o'clock up towards the hill country. But here we go. We'll be tracking another round of storms moving through after midnight tonight. This is likely going to be some kind of complex of storms. So unlike what we had yesterday, where we had that one supercell that brought damage in some isolated spots, more of us are going to see some heavy rain and the possibility of maybe some damaging wind gusts and hail as this line rolls on through. From 3 a.m. through 5 a.m. is when we'll have that window of time for the I-35 corridor. It'll be your turn as this line moves on through the area and then eventually out towards the coastal plains closer to 4, 5, 6 a.m. before it's likely going to be out of here by around 8 a.m. tomorrow. Cold front moves through, drier air follows, and behind that, those winds shift back to the north, and then that atmosphere stabilizes yet again. So we've got one more round to get through before we have a much needed, quieter and kind of break from the weather, active weather as we head into the weekend. Severe weather threat today, level 1 to level 2 risk. The higher risk will be farther north. That front moves through, brings us that first round of storms, and then high pressure builds behind the front. We're not going to see much of a cool down behind the front, but we will see those rain chances drop off pretty nicely as we head into the weekend, and a nice break from the active pattern that we've had really all week long. 80s, low 90s today, a little bit warmer than yesterday. We'll be back into 60s, low 70s heading into tomorrow morning. That line of storms clears out. Friday will be a quieter day by the afternoon and cooler with highs only set to warm into middle 80s, so slightly below average behind that front. Saturday, quieter, 10% chance for a stray shower storm. Same thing for Sunday. Monday, we're off to a quiet start as we kick off next work week before those rain chances do start to bump up again for the middle of the week.
It really has been a crazy couple weeks, hasn't it? Casey's probably thinking, move to Texas, they said. It'll be fun, they said. It's 7:45, and we always have something going on. But hey, another reason to watch your local news and get the forecast right here, because it is always changing. Taking a look right now on that upper deck at Thursday morning. Here's your Airport Boulevard, where we're still, once again, still having some, ongoing power outages, and this could last a couple days as they're moving through all of this area. We still have an incident on this upper deck here involving the fire department here. They've got this vehicle pulled off to the side, so it looks like they're still working that there. And then across the rest of the area, looking pretty good. We do have some slowdowns out there and really just a lot of car trouble, but hey, I'll take what we can get after the day we had yesterday with kind of the sandwich of storms in the morning commute, the evening commute, the water rescues, all of it. Once again, we do still have an incident I-35 southbound, not too far from the Kyle area in Mountain City. And then we have our typical slowdowns in the northbound lanes starting at the 45 toll road there, moving in towards Bluff Springs. So heads up for you there. But once again, all this, I think we can certainly work with this compared to what we were looking at last night. Here's a little bit of that stop and go over Lady Bird Lake. We can work with that there. And, you know, minor slowdowns approaching that Miller area right now as well. Mopac also feeling that. I know once again we had some water rescues through North Shoal Creek yesterday. And North Shoal Creek, that is still a point of concern today. Here's a look at our speeds right now. Take a look at that. Round Rock, we got 23 miles per hour for you. Manor, as always, slowing down in those westbound lanes if you're coming to visit us here in Austin. Buda, slow crawl at 21 miles per hour. And Westlake Hills, y'all have had a lot of activity in the last 48 hours across the map. Let's take a look at your drive times. At least we're under 45 minutes so far, Buda. Well, just went up a minute there at 20 miles per hour as I showed you. Under 25 if you are coming from Round Rock traveling southbound to visit us here in Austin today. And Mopac, we've got 30 minutes for you heading southbound, and that'll get you from Louisiana to downtown Austin. Stay safe out there with all this debris across the area.
No doubt about that, Hannah. Thanks a lot. Hey, you ready for some hockey tonight?
Yes, always.
Big game tonight. Many teams and athletes, have pre-game rituals. Many have superstitions.
Yeah, they're always so interesting, right? But the Dallas Stars Ice Crew superstition, well, they need a hot dog real bad.
Several years ago, we talked just a random stranger into buying us hot dogs, handed us one of them, and as it touched from their hand to ours, we scored. We came all the way back and won the game. And we all said the hot dog saved the day. If we're still down a goal in the second period, if you'll buy a hot dog for us, we'll trade you a signed stick. We got a hot dog, everybody! Hey, we're gonna win now.
There's nothing like watching live hockey. It's so good. But you know what? The superstition worked.
It worked now, at least it has for a while. This was behind the scenes of game one between the Stars and Edmonton Oilers. The Stars scored 5 goals in the third period to win that game, but they haven't won a game since.
Oh, no,
game
more hot
5,
dogs.
yep, game 5 is tonight. It's a must win. It's 3-1 Edmonton. If the Oilers win tonight, they go to the Stanley Cup Finals. If the Stars win tonight, they, on the home ice, they're in Dallas. If they win that one, they'll send this thing back to Game 6 in Edmonton. So we'll see what happens tonight. I bet the Stars. I have a feed. Josh here on the floor with us, huge Stars fan. Usually stays up all night watching the games. He told me a little while ago, I don't think I'm going to stay up and watch.
He's already lost.
Wait,
He said, I don't think they're going to win, he said.
We're all looking at him.
That's not true.
Bust Josh.
I will say Dallas sports in general a little shaky, but come on, Stars, we got to hold on to that last inch of hope.
I think we should all have a hot dog and maybe bring them some luck.
I'm hungry.
Relish or no relish?
Relish.
Yeah, me too.
100%.
Oh yeah, all the
ketchup and mustard.
Have you ever had a Sonoran hot dog? Have y'all ever had a Sonoran hot dog?
You did a story on them once, and I've never gone, and it seems so good.
Let me just tell you this. You take the hot dog, you roll it with a piece of bacon.
Whoa.
Cook it up, put it on the bun, put some jalapenos on top, some onions, some relish.
In your belly.
Right down the old tube, and then you have, you don't have to eat for 6 weeks after that thing.
Oh, there's a place around here around Burnett, right? You said Burnett and like, up north Austin.
The food used to be the food truck area. I haven't been there in a while, but those are so delicious.
Sounds good to me.
That's for breakfast.
I'll just have this meat stick. That's what I have for breakfast.
So what is this again?
Hey, I can't go anywhere, so I got the meat stick.
Is it proper beef jerky or what?
I don't know. It says chicken and maple mini stick. I don't know.
Oh, it's chicken.
And maple. I think those were the names of the animals that they used to make that. Chicken and maple.
That's horrible.
Chicken and maple.
So bad. Anyways, I don't know. What are you eating for breakfast? We're wondering.
Please let us know.
We're still talking about the power outages, too. I know that's a big, serious business for a lot of people. The Austin Energy reporting now 30,734 customers without power. A lot of those really all over town, Hannah. We've talked about the roads being impacted by some of those downed tree limbs, too.
Yeah, even moving through Central Austin right now, it just creates a mess, man. You just got to wait, and everyone's got to wait their turn. And I think we live in a society now where we're just in such a rush. rush. And so definitely slows things down out there. And of course, it's hot and humid. So I'm hearing from viewers too that are kind of stuck in their homes this morning, you know, stuck in the dark, man. It's tough.
And when crews are doing electrical work, I mean, you've got to go take it slow. I mean, it can be very dangerous.
Yeah, I saw a couple linemen driving into work even this morning. They're out there doing the work, so we're very thankful for them. But yeah, if you're passing them, make sure you're just kind of taking a little bit slower, scooting by.
Be kind.
Be kind, exactly.
And you've talked about today, Casey, we're going to maybe see some rain later on, but we've got a break here where maybe those crews can get a lot of that work done without any rainfall falling on their heads.
Yeah, you know, I think during the day, I mean, all good to go. We're going to be pretty quiet, and then those storms will start to fire up again tonight. It's going to be a little more widespread tonight. So for those areas, you know, South Austin that are wondering, hey, what are you talking about when it comes to the rain, the storms? Tonight, more of us will see rain and thunderstorms. So here is a final look at that 7-day forecast where we will be looking at that line moving through. A chance to see some strong severe storms out of that. That chance right now, it's lower than the risk we had yesterday, but we will have to watch out for that heading into tonight, especially for, of course, the areas that have already seen damage, those down trees, down limbs. When we see another gust of wind with that next line moving through, they could be picked up yet again by those winds. So that's one of the things we'll have to watch out for. But Friday, it's looking good. That front moves through, and then we're going to be looking at a much drier forecast behind that for the weekend. We get to enjoy a break from the rain and thunderstorms, and of course, those weekend plans, good to go for that. Temperatures will be falling into the 80s back behind the front, and then we're back into the middle 90s by next week.
I think Friday's a good day for a pool party. I don't know.
You know of a place?
Yeah, I do know of a place. By the way, if there's cannonball season, if there are pictures or video that you can send us from a safe spot, whether it's from yesterday or even today, text them to 459-9442.
That's right. And Austin Energy has a number now. If your power is out, they probably know about it by now. But just write this number down. You can text the word OUT, O-U-T, to 287-846, and that will get you into the queue, and hopefully they'll be out there sooner rather than later because they're working hard.
Oh yeah, they definitely are. And thanks again for watching Daybreak Plus. We've got another quick weather and traffic update for you on your television, and then we'll be back for more local news. Well, maybe at midday.
Nah, we're
Let's
not
do
coming
that.
back. We're done for today.
Oh boy. On midday. Join us on midday on air. Okay.
Tell all your friends about KVUE Plus. We'll be on, I don't know, maybe tomorrow morning.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's free,
Hannah's
right?
like, I guess I'm in. Yeah, I'm in. I'm here.